Good day, lords and ladies of the internet. I am your host today, the Parafox Archangel, the English gentleman of the internet, and I welcome you all back to Limbus Company, where today we are going to see what happens at the end of the second dungeon of the second chapter, and where Rodia's story is going to take us in the end, and it leads to some quite interesting places, so I do hope you enjoy. Feels like it's getting colder and colder. What's up with all the ice? With this ice all around? An increase in frequency of anomalies should ideally be strong. Positive reflections. Did you call? I hope this wasn't your attempt at a joke. Thanks to you, I'm feeling even colder. Putting aside Ishmael's grievance, I thought about what Faust had said. Because that means we're getting close to the Golden Bough, right? It was a pretty solid answer if I do say so myself. Yeah, sure. But Faust's reply was discouragingly dull, or at least that's how I heard it. And we get the cutscene again, aha. Why did they play the cutscene twice? Now that has to be a bug, the fact it plays the cutscene twice when you change floors. That's an interesting way to do the abnormalities, I'm not gonna lie. Moving past the container boxes, we're met with a chilly air. The chunks of ice hint that we're almost at the end. Ooh. Now isn't this music special? Alright then, let us begin.
물러서지 않겠습니다.
You love us, we love you, you even give us money too.
You know what? I admit I was not expecting to hear that. That is not something I commonly expect to hear. Thank you very much for the subscription, Dying Star. It is always a pleasure. I hope I can further entertain and remain entertaining. It can be disheartening at times. Just watching my numbers always stay the same with no growth. But you know what? I like streaming. I like entertaining. I like doing what I do, and I feel that's just what I need to focus on. Just the enjoyment I get out of doing it more than anything else. I mean, it can be a bit hard to do that at times, but yeah, point is, thank you very much, Dying Star. I always feel like I'm not grateful enough when I spout on like that. I also have these idiots.
Who are you calling an idiot?
You. Was that not obvious?
Pecking, damn it, just what do I need to do? Parafox?
Yes, Alistair.
Do you love your city?
Absolutely not. Well, actually, maybe.
Well, that kind of answers that. It's meant to be yes or no. That's what the buttons did anyway.
Well, it's a kind of a bit of a both. Because the city I live in has about the highest crime rate in England.
Well, that's not good.
But it's also got the cheapest prices of everything in England. About.
Well, that's pretty good.
So it really depends on what I am. Do I care about my safety, or do I care about being a cheapskate?
Parafox, when was the last time you splurged?
Hence why I actually like my city. Right then, let's go. Kill everything!
재미는 없겠지만 그렇게 할게요.
Kill everything! Die! I am definitely gonna have to make a spreadsheet of this game. Just to basically determine for myself
물러서지 않겠습니다.
all the affinities and the best numbers and everything like that. Now, I'm very interested if the affinity stuff we use for ego actually crosses over between fights in a dungeon. Freezing minor slave. Okay. You're new. Alright, guys, I'm not sure how this is gonna go, but go. You're stunned. Perfect. You could have rolled higher than that. Definitely could have rolled higher. One corpse. Good. Alright. Kill. Fuck. Thank you for rolling nothing. Glorious.
물러서지 않겠습니다.
I can't be bothered to think for these orbs. Die, orb. I have enough of you I have to deal with you enough in my Discord channel. Peck off, orb. After winning a clash using a lust skill, inflict one bind and fragile next turn. Ah, I hadn't actually read what that one did, so... Alright, guys, go.
그렇게 할게요.
Really? Gregor, come on, man.
검을 덜 갈았었나?
Okay, you're staggered, you're not. Gregor, murder and stagger. Faust. Alright, go. It's a game of speed. So we abuse speed just the same way as we do in Runia.
침착한 결과입니다.
Now, guys, do we want to just go straight on so we can have our go at a mirror dungeon? Or do we want to try and take out these abnormalities here? I say I'm just going straight for the boss. I want to try a mirror dungeon before the end of this. Alright, we're here at the end. Ice Castle where neighbors lie. That does not look like the Ice Queen. We made it across the frozen landscape and reached the end of the mines. In the distance, I saw a massive castle of ice and an unexpected guest. This can only be good. Can't wait for its weakness to be bludgeoning. Before us stood a monumental castle of ice and frozen pillars that seemed unbreakable. And there stood a person. A man with high-line hair, white as ice, waiting for us. Clear as ice, waiting for us. I came here often whenever I felt like I needed to clear my thoughts, even though there's no rocking chairs or whiskey like you like. The chill dominating this place pierces even the thickest coat. It helps me restore a lucid mind. Ha. While the rest of us were frozen stiff, stuck watching, Rodion made a slow step forward to face him. Didn't expect you to be here first. My men and I knew of a shortcut leading here. It was something we learned through the local ruffians, all in search of the whereabouts of a buried great power waiting to be used for the greater good. Alas, this area surrounding the Golden Bough was as far as we could go. We didn't see any way to get closer.
25구에 박혀 있을 줄만
I
알았는데.
thought you'd never leave
그따위
District
조직 범죄단
25,
같은
but seeing you
수법이나
now
쓰면
resorting to tactics
계속 박혀 있는
gangsters
게
would
좋았을
use,
것 같네.
maybe you should have stayed a country boy.
소냐,
Sonia,
네 덕에 죄 없는
your lackeys have
손님들도
been
전부
taking
돈을 빼앗기고
from the
있었어.
shopkeepers who weren't even rich to begin with.
그거 알아, 로자?
Did you know,
이것은
Rodion? This
원래
was
성에가
little
가득 끼어
more
있을
than a
뿐인
somewhat eccentric
조금
hollow
기묘한
with
장소에
frosty
불과했어.
walls.
하지만 이것 봐.
Yet look at this.
지금은
Now
거대한
there's a
성과
giant castle
단단한
with thick
얼음들로만
columns of
뒤덮인
ice.
곳이 되었네. 네가 막 이곳으로
This change
발걸음을
happened
한
the
순간.
instant you walked in.
마치
You sound like you
내가
figured
오면
this would
변할
happen
걸
on my
알고
arrival.
있었다는 듯한 말투네.
How'd you know?
정보의 출처는 여러
I have
가지가
many
있지만
sources, but none of your
네가 알
business,
필요는
Rodion.
없어, 로자.
Roja. Apparently it's a ja. Apparently Y sounds like ja. J.
애초에 나 때문이라고 어떻게 단언하지?
What makes you so sure
난
that I made
뒷골목을
this happen in the
쏘다니
first
마술사가
place?
아니란 말이야.
I'm not some kind of backstreets witch or anything.
어려울 것 없어.
It's not hard to figure it all out.
얼음 속
Observing
잠든
those
이들의
faces
얼굴만
encased in the
봐도
ice says enough.
이것 봐.
Take a
네가
peek.
사랑했던
They're the ones you loved yet looked down
하지만 동시에
upon. Are they not?
25만 원.
250,000 an.
이게 고작 그 정도
That's all it's
값이라고요?
worth? It's
말도
not
안
possible.
그러니까 말이 되지 않나?
You said precisely why, though. Its age is showing in all the scratches and lack of polish.
사실 다른 곳에선
To be frank,
20만
others
원도
wouldn't pay more than
아까울
200,000 for this.
수준. 나머지는
And the rest? All worthless
쓸모없는
garbage.
쓰레기뿐이군. 이로써 뱉어야 할 세금은
That makes the taxes you owe 400,000 an in total.
왜 가난한 자들은 일할수록 더 가난해지는
Why do the
걸까?
poor only grow poorer the harder they work?
진짜 어이없지.
It's ridiculous, isn't it?
전당
While
포트에
stacks of
넣은
cash
돈이
piled up
쌓여갈수록
in the pawnbroker's vault,
우리 이웃들은
our neighborhood was being
추억마저
wrung dry.
저울질하며
Heirlooms
큰
weighed
돈지급을
for what
받고
little
있었어.
monetary value they had.
소냐는 항상
Sonia
어려운 말을
rallied people,
섞었으면서
delivering
사람들을
speeches using
끌어모았고
big words.
그들의 아래에
They organized a group
유로집이라는
under the
이름의
name of
조직이 세워졌지.
Eurodrivia.
처음엔
I still can't say
괜찮았어.
that properly. It went
머리가
okay at
텅텅 빈
first.
놈들도
Even the thickest folks
소녀의 말에
were
꺾여
inspired by
없어서
Sonia's words to
뒷골목의
help the
어려운
impoverished
자들에게
in the
보냈으니까.
backstreets.
하지만
But Sonia
소녀는
still had a
뭔가가
dissatisfied
부족하다는
expression.
표정일 뿐이었지. 결국 유로집이는
Ultimately, the Eurodrivi
밖에서
walked into an
사람을
organization that cared more for
각자에서
debating about
어떻게
how best to
굴복을
change the streets and the
둥지를
nest
바꿀까
rather than
고민하는
going
데에만
out to help
집단이
those in need.
되어버렸어. 그래서 나는 그들을
That's
떠날
why I
때마다
left them.
탁상 공론 가지고
Being an armchair revolutionary wasn't going to feed our starving
없으니까.
neighbors.
하지만 내가 누누이 말했잖아, 로자.
But I
우리는
told you time and time
때를
again,
기다려야
Roja, that we must wait for the right moment.
소냐,
Sonia,
미안한데
I'm sorry, but that moment you
그때라는
kept
건
talking about,
유로집이의 막내
it didn't come when the
꼬마
Eurodrivi's
이반이
youngest,
음식물 쓰레기를
when little
주워
Ivan
먹었을
had to
때도
sate his hunger with food from the garbage.
기도가 막혀서 죽은
Nor did it
다음에도
arrive after he
찾아오지
suffocated to
않았어.
death.
큰 일을 위해선 더 큰 힘과
To
더
achieve a
자세한
monumental
정책이 필요해.
task, well-thought
부의
policies and a
재분배를
great
위해서는
power
말이야.
to carry them are required, all to make the redistribution of wealth happen.
그리고 그런 방향으로
And in the
나아가기
process of
위해서는
moving towards progress,
사사로운
such
자본을
minor
숨기기
troubles on a
마련이지.
personal level are inevitable.
사사로
That's
우리는
minor
원래
to you?
사사로운 자들을
The whole
돕기
thing was
위해서
personal.
시작했어.
We started this to help others.
네가 하고 있던 일들은
What you and the Eurodrivi
유로집이가 하고 있던
were
일들은
doing wasn't what I had
내가
hoped
바랬던
for.
방향과는 맞지 않았다고.
그래서
Is that
직접
why you
나서기로
decided to
결심한
take matters into your own hands?
당연하지.
Absolutely.
우리 마을에
What our
필요했던
town
건
needed
언제 올지 모르는
wasn't an empty
그때만
promise telling
손
people
놓고
to sit on
기다리는
their
게
hands
아니라
for who knows when,
눈앞에 놓인 도끼를
but someone who
망설임 없이
wouldn't
집어넣을 수
hesitate
있는
to pick up the
사람이니까.
axe.
그날도
I bet
이웃들
most of
중
my neighbors
대부분이
had been starving for
사일이
4 nights
상태를
straight
긁고
that day.
있었을 거야. 그런데도 바람은
Yet
봐주는
the
일 없이
biting
날
wind
부러웠고
kept howling without mercy,
굶주린 자의
clawing
갈라진
at the
피부에
chapped skin of the
사정없이
famished
핥혀냈어.
peasants.
나는 우리 이웃들이
And I happen to
사흘
know
밤낮을
those
토할 듯이 먹어대도
And I happen to know
기도 안
those
날
safe
만큼의
kept
많은
more
돈을
than
그
enough
꼴에
money to treat my
알고
neighbors to
있었단
feast
말이야.
for days and still be just as full.
그래서 어떻게 했어?
So, what did you do?
잠깐만.
Give me a
나
sec.
이거 그만하면 안
Can't
돼.
I pull out of this now?
이것은 황금 가지가
This is a confessional created for you as a result of the golden bow, resonating with your psyche.
그리고 고의 실은
Moreover, a confessional's purpose is to lead a sinner to the path of penance.
불쌍한 로지온 녀석. 네가 대단한 구원자라도 되는 줄 착각하나 본데.
그 노파가 마지막에 마음을
If only that
고쳐먹기라도
old woman
했더라면.
had changed her mind before it came to an end.
하지만 로자,
But Roja,
평생을
you must have known that a terminal leech upon her neighbors would never turn over a new leaf.
갑자기 모든 걸 포용하며
You know she wasn't the
자신의
kind
돈을
of
내놓을
person who'd
사람이
give up
아니라는
that
거지.
life to turn into a
알고 있었지.
generous philanthropist.
알았더라면
You wouldn't
너도
have knocked on her
처음부터
door
도끼
with an
따위는
axe in
들고
hand
가지.
otherwise.
불쌍한 로지온 녀석.
Poor Rodion,
대단한
dear, you
구원자라도
seem to
되는
be
줄
under the
착각하나
delusion
본데.
that you're some sort of savior.
그렇게 당당하게
Demanding my
내
money
돈을
so
요구해도
blazingly to
달라지는
my
건 없네.
face won't change anything.
너희도
You
저
vermin are no
뒷골목
different from the
비렁뱅이와
paupers
다름없는
in the back
버러지들일
streets.
그래.
That's right.
그녀의 머리를 가른 건 나야.
I'm the one who put an axe through her head.
황금 거위의 배를
Like
가르듯
cutting open the belly of the
노파의
goose
두개골을
that laid
깨끗하게
golden
갈라내었지.
eggs. I chopped that hag's skull.
결국 누군가는
I
했어야 할
mean,
일이었잖아.
someone had to do it.
안 그래?
Am I wrong?
황금 거위는
Unlike the
스스로의
foolish
욕심에 의해 귀의 끈을
cottager
얼간이에
in the
이어서
fable who gave in to greed and lost out on becoming richer.
우리는 그녀의 뇌를
We were
파먹고도
overcome with
시원찮을
hunger
정도로
and
굶주린
misery
불운자들이었어.
and could have gladly eaten out her brains.
그리고 그 배에는
And her
확실하게
belly was full of
황금알이
golden
가득
eggs,
배어 있었습니다.
unlike that of the goose.
그래, 그 노파는 25부의
Yes,
막강한
the old
권력을
lady you
가진
killed was a
세금
tax collector,
탁자였지.
wielding considerable authority in District 25.
하지만
But
그녀가
what
그렇게
gave her so
활기를
much
쥐고 다닐 수
power
있었던 건
was her sibling
동생이
status as a member
중지의 조직원이기에
her
가능했던
sibling
것이었어.
status as a member of the middle.
나는
I
굶어 죽어가는
I
이웃들을
struck her
위해
down to
고기를
save my
끓였어.
dying neighbors. Is that so wrong?
아니,
No.
너는
You held
스스로를
that axe for your own good.
네가 그저 평범한
You couldn't
사람에
stand the
불과하지
fact
않다는
that you
사실
weren't
견딜
anyone
수가
special.
없었던 거지. 알고 있어?
Did you know
중지는
the middle
자신의
never
식구를
lets
건든
anyone
자들을
who
절대
touches
잊지
their
않아.
family go unpunished?
그들은 누가 했느냐가 중요한 게 아니라
They aren't too interested
자신들을
in
건들면
finding
어떻게
who
되는지가 더
exactly
중요한
did it.
자들이야.
Rather, they like to demonstrate clearly what happens to the poor fools that dare disturb them. Wait, I just realized they're talking about the middle. I'm assuming they mean the middle finger. But we're in a nest, aren't we? Because she just mentioned you're like those paupers from the back streets. So, does that mean the middle finger has infiltrated the nest of 25, despite the fact it's a syndicate and they're meant to be associated with the back streets?
처음으로 질 좋은 부위에 고기를 씹고
The
있던
back streets
뒷골목
residents
주민들의
who
기쁨.
tasted the joy of quality meat for the first time in their lives soon made towering cadaverous pillars out on the road.
카지노 밖에 쌓여있던
Not much different from the car
자들의 탑처럼
pangolas outside the casino.
네가 그날 이후로
I'm well aware of how much pain and
고통스럽고
guilt you've
죄악감으로
been
뒤덮인
burdened
나날을
with ever
보내면서
since then.
알고 있어. 스스로가 황금 거위를 가른
Living with the
얼간이 다를 바가
realization that you
없었음을
weren't so
깨달은
different
네가
from the foolish cottager
너야.
after all.
그날 이후로
Since that day,
그 어떤
nothing I held truly felt
더
like it
이상
was
온전한
mine.
내 것으로 느껴지지 않았어. 모두
All because of me.
다 괜찮아, 로자.
It's all fine, Roja.
난 말이야, 로자.
For you see, Roja,
세상을 바꾸기
to
위해
change the
수천 번의
world,
집,
I pursued hundreds
수만
of
장의
books
문서를
and
찾았고
thousands of documents.
도시 곳곳에서
And I
사람들과
met
만났어.
various people all around the city.
지배 계급의 착취로부터
Picturing a
벗어나
world where the
마침내
oppressed can escape
피업업자들의
from
진정한 해방을 손에 넣을 수 있는
exploitive
세상.
dominion of the ruling class and find liberation in the truest sense.
그 세상을 만들기
To
위해서
make that world a reality.
하지만 정답은
However,
바꾸는
the
것에
answer
있지
didn't
않았어.
lie in changing
이미
what was
잘못
already there.
써내려간 페이지.
Once a page
영영 되돌릴
of
수
history
없어.
is written, there's no way to go back and revise it.
잘 봐.
Look,
이게 너와
this is the
내가 도달할
world
수 있는
we can
세상이야.
reach.
네가 공명한
A
황금
world
가지를
that
통해
can be
만들어갈 수
created
있는
using the golden bow
그런 세상.
with which you resonated.
지상에서는 백올른이 하나 없.
May there be no one upon this earth suffering from starvation.
정신적이며 지적인
May every
쾌락을 추구할 수
individual
있는
enjoy
권리가
the right to
누구에게나
pursue
있기를.
psychological and intellectual delights.
나와 함께한다면
Join
그
hands with
세상을
me,
너에게
and I'll
선물해
give
줄게.
you that world as a gift.
마치
As if nothing up to this
처음부터
point had
아무 일도
ever
일어나지 않았던
happened at
것처럼.
all. Really though? Because what always happens is those which were rich end up, those that were poor end up becoming the rich, and the cycle begins anew. I remember this from actually a, whatchamacallit, and I remember watching something relating to this on a, a YouTube animation, which was about, like, pigs eating all the food, they ran, and throwing scraps to the cats on the ground. They ate all the food in the room, the cats started getting annoyed, the pigs were all chained together, the cats ate the pigs, the cats moved into a new room and became the pigs, and there were new cats on the floor for the new pigs. It was a very weird animation. Anyway,
누가 이해할 수
a
있을까?
feeling nobody else would understand.
잠깐뿐이었지만
Even a glimpse of that
맛보았던
world
그
felt
세계는
so dreamlike.
너무나 꿈 같아서.
You described Animal Farm. Is that what it's called? Hold on. No, Animal Farm's a movie. It was like a 5-minute YouTube animation. Hold on, I'm gonna see if I can try and find it. I think this is the one. Yeah, this is the animation. It's a 10-minute animation. We'll watch that after we finish with this. Breaking news, local stream learns about Animal Farm. That's the thing with this kind of belief. It's really just a dream. It will never happen.
잠시 눈에 담았을 뿐이었지만
I wanted to etch that mesmerizing
잠시도 그
instant into
순간을
my
잊고
memory.
싶지 않아서 꿈이라면 다시는
If this
깨어나지
was a
않기를.
dream, I'd
차라리
even wish I
내가
was a part of
꿈세계의
it so that I would
주무기를
never
바라고
have to
싶을
leave it.
정도였다. 그럼에도
And yet,
미안.
sorry,
그래도 난
I'm still turning down
거절할래.
your offer.
왜일까?
How to put it?
아직 나는
I don't want to
따뜻해지고
bathe in the
싶지가 않아.
warmth just yet.
조금 더
I feel like I
떨어야겠어.
ought to be in this cold a bit longer.
언제쯤 따뜻해져도
Think I'll
될지.
stay this way until I find my
그
answer
대답을
to the
찾을
question
때까지는
of when it'll be okay
아직
to
여기에
warm
있으려고.
myself.
그리고 소냐,
And also, Sonia,
너 내가 성질
you
모두
knew
두고
my
앞장서서
temper would get the
처리하러
best
갈
of me
거라는 걸
and get me to
미리
kill
알고
her,
있었지?
didn't you?
로자,
Roja,
넌 이해하기
this would
어렵겠지만
probably elude
내겐
you, but
표시가
you don't
없어.
have the mark.
너가 가지고 있을
I
거라고
came
기대를
here
하고
hoping
왔지만
to see you possess it,
오히려
but
다른
I'm seeing it on a
친구들에게서
few of your friends instead.
표지?
The mark?
무슨-
What are you?
더군다나
Besides, you
표지를
can't
볼 수
see the
있지도
mark
않지.
either. In other
그
words, you don't
말이
have what it takes to be a
내겐
leader.
누군가를 이끌 힘은 없다는 뜻이야.
Fair enough.
하지만 나는 달라.
But I'm different.
그러니까
So to make a
더 나은
better
세상을
world,
위해선
그래.
Yeppa, I
난
think I
책이
remember
잔뜩
hearing you
쌓여있던
say something like that
책상
while
비슷한
while
말
sat at a
했던 것
desk
같아.
buried in books.
그래서 나는
That's why I can't
너와
join you.
함께할 수 없어. 탁자 위에서나
I still
오가는
believe that it's not big words
역시
behind
이웃들을
closed doors that
배분할 수
feed your
없으니까.
neighbors.
너도 알겠지만
And as I'm sure you've learnt by now,
망나니 새끼가 어떻게
there's no way a
손님을
rowdy
들어가겠냐?
rascal like me would fit under some dweeb's leadership, right?
황금가지는 저성 안에
The golden bough awaits inside the castle, Rodion.
무사히
I hope
네가
you'll be
원하는
able to
것을
find
찾을
what
수
you
있게.
seek. We walked past Sonia and made our way into the icy castle he indicated. Fair enough, time for our boss fight! A world of peace will never occur, however we can try our best to reach the best possibility. Yeah, that's a good way for us to believe. 4 waves. Okay. Interesting. It's a swell day for a brawl. It's a swell day for a brawl. I was gonna say, bloody win a coin flip.
검을 덜 갈았었나?
1 staggered, perfect. And now it's dead. Better.
거치적거리지만 마. 검을 덜 갈았었나? 꽤 잘
Good.
갈렸고.
Dead. Nice. I started a turn and my enemies just exploded. Yeah, I've had that happen before. Thoom. What the? The castle trembles intensely as the frosty rubble falls around us from above. Wait, if this keeps up... A foreboding idea flashes in my head. The ticking of my clock was like a reminder of how much time we had left. Out! Outside! Now! We evacuated from it in a hurry.
지금 제가 잘못 보고 있는 건 아니죠?
Am I seeing this right?
성이 무너지는 것이
The
아니라
castle isn't falling
맞지?
apart. It's like...
네, 확실히
Indeed.
일어서고
It's most certainly rising to its feet.
뒤돌아보지 마. 그냥 달리라고.
Don't look back, just run! Ooh! We ran quite a bit, but what now?
발소리.
Footfalls, not of human, rather slow and heavy. You could just say something that... You could just say that something mammoth is after us.
그러는 편이 나았을지도.
That may have served better.
단테,
But Dante,
일단 어떻게
our job
되겠습니까?
here is done.
빨리 여기
So
나가자.
we can just book it, cool? Give me a second. I never considered what to do after getting down here.
진짜. 지금
Oh,
그때도
really?
문제야?
Does this look like the time to have dopey plans?
버스.
The bus. Where's the bus? Stop your yapping, useless rubbish. We're running the hell away.
처음으로
That might be the first logical statement I've heard leave your mouth, Heathcliff. I'm smashing your skull to pieces later. Oh, good lord. Y'all ever heard of the story of Baba Yaga? Oh, I thought it was weird that we weren't whatchamacallit. Okay. Guys, go.
없겠지만 그렇게 할게요.
Come on, we need some destruction here, Faust. That's good destruction. Good girl. Turn 4. Go.
없겠지만 그렇게 할게요.
Staggered. Nice.
좀 더 잘 뵐 수 있을 것 같은 되는 건
Dead.
즐겁네요.
Nice.
꽤잘
Dead. Nice. Is it time? God damn it. I need one more pride. Can't even do it with you either. Okay, what do you need? Mostly gluttony, so I can't use anything that needs gluttony. Yours doesn't need gluttony. Baba Yaga does have a time mechanic. That makes the fact I first tried this boss so much sadder. Okay, if we actually have a time mechanic right now, we need to work like the clappers. Murder. One shot. Go. 82 damage. Obliterated.
무불아위. 다음을 부탁해요. 두렵진 않네요.
Dead. Nice. Okay. Still can't do that. I will be able to by the end of this, though. Right. Go.
거치적거리지만 마.
One more gone. Perfect.
되는 건 즐겁네요.
Another one gone. Perfect.
꽤잘 갈렸고.
Marvelous. Okay, then. Not you. Where are you? There you are. It's time for our green stem. And the best part, it's unopposed, so they can't stop us. Baba Yaga is closing in. Clear the way or face certain death. 4. Oh, I've got 4 rounds to do so. Is that what it's saying me? I have 4 rounds to murder everything. Okay. Well, that thing's dead. Hopefully. Okay. Let's see how this ends up going then. Good damage. And hopefully dead. Whack. Oh yes. Dead. Now come on with the AoE. We need that AoE big and we need it nice.
승리를 위해서라면.
Close enough. It staggered 2 of them. So.
재미는 없겠지만
Right.
그렇게 할게요.
I expected better. Dead. Dead. And maybe dead.
불아위.
Dead. 1 left.
지금은
Kill.
두렵지 않아요. 두렵진 않네요.
Nice. Everyone run away!
저기 입구가 보여요.
I see the exit over there!
끈질기게.
Gah! Persistent rotters! We'll have to distract them somehow before we can get away.
한 놈.
Why don't you throw one of us at him? You can bring him back later anyway.
저를
Why are you looking at me while you say that? Easy, because you're the tank. Seriously, Sinclair, it is ridiculous how tanky you are. Like most of your specs are all about tanking. It's ridiculous. Hold on, look there.
이것은 내가 맡을게.
Leave this to me.
소냐?
Sonia,
무슨 꿍꿍이야?
what are you playing at? Rodion, what's with your attitude? We have to take all the help we can get.
보통 목적 없이
I've seen people who'd offer help without asking for anything, and they'd usually have some ulterior motive.
네가 도끼를 휘두르지 않고
It's just how you simply couldn't hold yourself back from using your axe that day.
나한테도 설명하게.
I'm discovering that I might have simply inexplicable drive pushing me. Dante, I take it that your organization is working to make a better world in its own right, yes? I don't have a clue. I'm in the dark. I got kidnapped and told me I got kidnapped one day and told this is my job now. I don't have a clue who I'm working for. What does a better world entail? For the first time, I was reminded that I never had questioned the motivations of Limbus Company. Thankfully, none of my contemplative fudging reached Sonia, and he took my lack of a response as a sign of agreement.
침묵은 때론 긍정을
Silence sometimes speaks volumes. I'll take that as a positive.
그리고
And one more thing. That child will visit you soon, too. Child? Huh? Sorry. My eyes must have fooled me. I thought I saw something on his forehead for a second.
저분 이마에
그래.
Indeed.
내게도 흔적을 남긴
That,
그
I mean that boy who left quite the impression on you.
제외겠군.
It'll be a touching reunion, I imagine. Sonia nudges his chin at something behind him. A faint light was shining between the fallen blocks of ice, giving a distinctive glow. The golden bow!
하지만 다음에 만날 때에도
Don't expect me
호의적인
to
충동을
act
일으킬
on the
거는
same
않아.
impulse of kindness next we meet, though.
다수의 풍요를 위한
If a
명확한
clear
그림을
path
인정해.
towards prosperity of many shows itself before my eyes, I'll take it without hesitation. After Sonia left us with a mysterious message, the usual Dreve began to show up one after another. Well, this may have been as good as time as any for touching farewells, like, I won't forget you. Then I saw Rodion was the first to sprint for the exit. Rodion, are you not concerned?
뭐가?
What's up?
결과 여하가 어떠할지
Irrespective of consequential differences, he was nevertheless a friend of yours.
아,
Ah, that.
난 워낙 머리를
He's
잘
the clever
굴릴 줄
sort,
아느라.
so I'm sure he'll figure out a way to live and all that jazz. Truly an ideal form of friendship. Sometime later. It's not a lot of AoE egos yet, which makes it stand out for sure. Yeah, it's why I like the Ebony. I mean, Faust and Hung Hughes' base egos are AoE. Hyung Hughes is AoE? Faust is nice, but Hyung Hughes' ego is really expensive. Mersault is also a tank. Mersault is a very good support. I mean, have you seen his egos? They're all about giving protection and healing. It's nuts. Chapter 2 was a fun ride from start to finish. Oh yeah, it was. Sonia, hey, you're good guys, right? Dante, Sonia. Right, Dante, I don't know. We lost the first one, but hey, we're getting the second one isn't too bad. Though I was dead tired, Vergilius wouldn't spare me from his fierce gaze until I gave him a brief verbal report of what we went through today.
잘 들었다. 하지만
I see.
마음에 걸리는 것이 남아
So that's your story. There's just one thing that bothers me, though.
소냐.
This man,
라는
Sonia,
자만인데
was it? His
그자가
actions during those
추구했던
final
사상과
moments don't seem
마지막에
to
보여준
quite match
행동은
the
서로
benefits he told
쌍중이다.
you, beliefs he told you.
그러니 그자의 의도에
Which is
대해
why we should
명확히
scrutinize his
짚고
true
넘어갈 필요가.
intentions.
아 잠깐.
Hey, time out! Time out!
이상도 그러더니.
First
왜
Jisang,
다들 나보다
at first
소니아한테
Jisang,
관심을
and now
가지는
you
거야?
two? Why does everyone care
어쨌든
about Sonia more than me?
황금가지를 가져오는 거에
The bottom line is
성공했잖아.
that we got the golden bow.
그리고
As a plus,
너도
check this out,
이것 좀
everyone. From her pockets, Rose just pulled out a colourful bunch of gaming chips in her hands. Really?
이거 근처 카지노
We can
아무데나
exchange
들린
these
다음에
cuties for
교환하면
cash at
바로
any
현금으로
casino,
돌려받을 수
so we
있어.
should drop by one.
우리 관리자님이
I
크게
nabbed them while our
한탄하셨을
manager
때
dazzled the
날쌔게
floor with their jackpot. I'm impressed that you thought to snatch that stuff amidst all the chaos.
어때 베르?
Well, Verge, what do you say to some juicy serving of prime sirloin steak to celebrate our rewarding success today?
어떻게 생각하지?
What do you think, Caron?
메피도 먹고 싶어 하는
Seems
것
Mephi
같아.
wants it too.
육즙이
Fresh,
흘러나오는
succulent, juicy
신선한
meat.
고기.
아, 비울래도 그래.
Yeah, of all the things you could mention.
좋아.
Alright then.
19의 골목
I'll
식당
leave Rodion to pick up a restaurant
Rodion에게
in
맡기지.
to pick a restaurant in District 10 for us.
알았어. 부릉부릉.
Broom broom.
이제 좀 말이 통하네 베르.
Now we're talking, Verge.
역시
After all said and done. Beneath her grin, Rouge's eyes were shaking with distress, but soon she covers it up with a guise of joviality as if nothing ever happened.
나는 좀 쩐다니까.
I'm pretty rad, aren't I? I don't know, I don't use you. Oh, now it's time for the credits of Chapter 2. I love the I'm not sure how I feel about the fact there's credits at the end of every chapter. It just feels... it's just one of those funny things, you know. But at least we get to see everyone, the big picture of everyone at the end, which is quite nice. What's Die is cast as fun. It's a multi-hit ego. Ooh. Sounds fun. And the voice actors do sing the credits. I think that's the special part. The fact it's actually the proper voice actor singing. I wonder if there's a voice actor that can't sing. Like, it's a genuine question. Because singing and doing voices are different, but kind of need the same muscles to be able to do it. So, it's kind of weird to think if there's a voice actor that can't sing well, you know? So who do we have here? We got Verge here, who just doesn't care. Rodion looking all impressed. So Otis eyeing up the chips a little. Ishmael looking a bit happy. Mersault just looking like Mersault. Saya Jisan being okay. Is that Sinclair? Don is just like, ooh! Heathcliff is looking quite happy about it. Don is Don. Yeah, Don is Don. And then you got Hung Hugh over here who's just like impressed. And then those two which are just like, we don't care. Oh god, this giant bus of freaks. What are we doing with them? How's Caron look? Hey Caron, what do you look like? Is that a smile on your face or do you just not care? It's hard to tell. Muron be like prime sitting position. Yeah. I can't wait for Mersault's chapter. I actually think Mersault's chapter is the one I'm looking forward to the most. Just because it's just like, currently everyone makes fun of everyone in the chat's making fun of the idea Mersault reminds us that he exists. And it's just like, I can't wait to see what his chapter is like when we're probably going up against the Index. Impressive, Eurodivi.
그렇게 많은
Not
적을
only did you
모조리
manage to clear out the
쓸어버린
legion of
것도
foes,
그 많은 돈을
you also burned all that
전부
cash.
태워버리다니.
알잖아요, 헤르만.
You should know, Herman,
옛날부터
that I've never
돈은
been
제
friends with
친구가
money.
아니었다는 걸.
인정하지.
I will admit, you are not
보통의
like most
몽상가들은
idealists who are all
말만
theory and no
검지를
action.
하지만 황금가지를
You
잘
would have earned
가지고
my
오기만
praise had you secured the golden bow on top of
칭찬까지
everything.
해줬을 테지만 말이야.
로저에게
I showed
세상을
Roja that
보여줬어.
world,
나를 반하게 만든
the ideal reality
이상의
that
세상
fascinated me.
하지만
Alas,
넘어오질 않았던
I suppose it didn't win her over.
당신이 말한 방법은
It seems
역시
the
틀렸던
method
것
you
같네요.
suggested was wrong after all, Herman.
그런 말 몇 마디로
She
꼬리가
wasn't the
준
kind of
인간이었어.
person to let a few words change her mind.
그래서
So, do you find this regrettable?
글쎄요.
Well,
옛날처럼 나를
part of me
따라주길
might have
바랬던
wished
것
that she'd
같기도
follow
한데.
me like in the past.
아니,
But no,
옛날과
I
변한
think
게
I'm actually
없어서
relieved to find out that
차라리
she's the
다행인
same
것
as
같네.
before.
로자는
Roja
모든 게
wasn't wishing
이상적이고
for a
완벽한
perfect world
세상을
with no
바라고 있지
flaws
않았어.
whatsoever.
오히려 그런
Rather,
세상은
she might have felt
자신이 특별하다는
that it
걸
would be
확인받을 수
boring to live in
없으니
such a world,
지루하다고
since there'd be
생각하지
no way
않을까.
to affirm that she's special.
그런 생각이 들더군요.
That's the impression I got.
외력에 흔들리지 않는
I thought her to be a woman of
성공자이다
virtue, principles unshakable.
너랑 다를 바 없는
But hearing this,
몽상가였나?
she was a dreamer just like you, wasn't she?
아직 그 아이도
She still has a
가야
long
할
way to
길은
go,
멀은
I'm
거죠.
sure.
로자는
She
인정하고
won't
싶지 않아
want to
하겠지만
admit it, though.
이야기는 잘
I got your
알겠어.
point. I'll keep it in mind for future
이후의 행동 방향을
considerations on our
결정할
course
때
of action.
참고하도록 할게.
책망하지 않는 건가?
You won't scold me for
난
this. I was
당신이
unable to
시킨 일을
complete the job
완수하지
you gave
못했잖아요.
me.
나무란다고 해서
Reprimands won't make the
가지가
bow appear at our
솟아나는
feet,
것은
will they?
아니잖아. 괜찮아.
It's fine.
지금
Wherever the
가지가
bows might be
어디에
right
있든
now.
최후의
What matters
가지
more
가발을
is who
손에
claims the
쥐는 자가
bundle at the
누구인지.
end. I can't wait for these bows to be a bunch of nothing. Base identity Uptide. Everything, all the base identities of Uptide. Nice. Nice, now we can go through that. Basic Egos Thread Spun. Oh yeah, they've all leveled up. The Egos have leveled up too. And we get 200 Lunacy as well. Nice. But yeah, weird final boss. I don't know, I quite liked it. The idea of it was quite cool in my opinion, the fact we're under a timer of some sort. But we've unlocked the mirror dungeons now, and with it I have more modules I can spend. What are mirror dungeons? Mirror dungeons list. You can choose one of the various mirror dungeons to enter. Entering mirror dungeons costs modules, yes. You can check the list of ego gifts that can appear in the mirror dungeon. Certain ego gifts need to be unlocked by fulfilling specific conditions. Okay. Starting ego gift. When you enter a mirror dungeon, you'll be offered a random selection of ego gifts that'll help the exploration. You can choose to take one. Make a team of 3 sinners to carry out the exploration. Only 3? Okay. Select identities for the sinners in the mirror dungeons. All identities start at level 10. You can be powered up as you progress. Choose Ego for your sinners to equip. You can only select Zalin Grade Ego during deployment. Okay. The layouts and paths in Mirror Dungeon are randomly generated each time you enter. Proceed by moving to one of the adjacent spaces in the next sector and deal with the encounters and events waiting for you. Right. As you explore the dungeon, you may acquire ego gifts. These items offer powerful effects that last until the end of the exploration. Sinner health. The HP, SP, and lost lives of your sinners will carry over between encounters. Recruiting sinners. Certain events allow you to add more sinners to your team. Powering up. In Mirror Dungeons, identities power up in steps as you progress. Level up and equip more ego through combat and events. Mirror Dungeon rewards. You'll be rewarded upon clearing the dungeon. A bonus will be given for a set number of time. A bonus will be given a set number of times each week. The number of rewards is proportional to the number of spaces cleared. Right. Okay. Makes sense. It costs 3 to enter. Okay. Well, we have ourselves a brand new chapter to unlock, which I'll have to do sometime. But I suppose to end it, I could do as another 10 roll. See if we get anything good. Do we want to do another 10 roll to end things off, guys? Go, go, go. Gamble. Okay, guys, let's gamble. Let's gamble. 10 roll. Let's do this. Come on. Roar it up. Terrible.
본측 이스마엘. 제가
Ah.
도와드릴 게 있나요?
Okay. I got a new one. Cool. Cool. Fair enough. Well, everyone, I do hope you enjoyed today's episode, and stay tuned, because we got plenty more to get through. After all, we have Chapter 3, and things can only get worse from here. And so I do hope you'll stay tuned for that. And always remember that if you want to watch these live, you are more than welcome by going to my Twitch channel, link in the description below. But everyone, I'm afraid that until whenever I see you next, it is time for me to bid thee all farewell, good day, and finally, good night.